This one works. I can drag this stuff. Looks okay. What others do we have? Especially the cairowindow test, maybe. Try cairowindow. Sounds simple enough. Crash. No, did not crash. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with dragging. You can't just drag anything here. Can't even terminate it. Let's find the things that do dragging, because I'm pretty sure that absolutely everything works if there's no dragging. Is that correct? Oh, of course it is correct. Let's say height test. It doesn't sound like it drags. It doesn't even draw anything. Hey, it still works. Intersection points also doesn't drag anything. Flashing ahead. Well, not. That was a .h file. Why am I doing not ls tests? Actually, the flashing that I thought would happen happens for this one, intersecting lines. For some reason I thought that was well, it's both intersecting, isn't it? Yeah. Go from points to lines. Yeah, that also just does its thing still. Yeah, yeah, okay. Even chess diagram works, I think. Yes. But I need a Venn code for that. I had one. History, grab, chess diagram. Yeah, there we are. Yay, a chess diagram. Also no dragging. So at least, yeah, no, there's nothing to drag. Just to print. Okay, we can't postpone it any longer. The thing should have something called register draggable, I think. Pretty sure with that. Test / start.cxx. So those are the only ones, and we already tested this one, and that just works. So I start at the top, or there's something else. I don't even know what this is doing. Nothing. It's kind of strange, huh? Why is it not doing anything? What in the actual... I think I commented it out actually in this CMake thing. Yeah, because it took so long to compile. Let's do the next one. Well, no crash. And now can I move it? Can I move it? Yeah, well, that looks like it also totally works. Draggable stuff that can be moved. Updates correctly. Can terminate it. Backtrack check. Aha, we have a core dump. I'm suspecting here that maybe it's a slider thing. What about testing everything that has draggables but no sliders? So one of these, but not something that has slider in it. Oh God, are you kidding me? What am I doing wrong then here? Create slider. Probably. Do I have an add slider? Oh. Thought I tested that one. Arc length Bezier. Tested it. Just run it. That one worked. There's no slider inside. I have to admit that. So I guess that commented out. How lame. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go back to so not back track check that creates a slider and that did crash. Climb check should work because it does not create a slider. Oh, still a crash. Interesting, interesting. But switch and plot failed. Oh, definitely related to what I changed. Oh yeah, okay. Fix me, fix me, fix me, fix me. Move draggable is totally broken, 100%. Okay, so to fix that one, I can use the clamp check. Guess clamp check. So yeah, won't have an overview though. Register slider. Sorry, but that also has a slider. It does have a slider. So I want something from this list that is not in this list. I'm gonna enable that one just to see if it works. What? Yeah, that in test, of course. Move to, no plot. Oh, wait a minute, move to takes yeah, it should be this one, so I think the plot must be removed. Let's see where we got a compile error now. Where do we get it now? Nothing to drag here. Yeah, okay. So it works. Can this not be dragged? It's a bit weird that nothing is draggable here. Wait a minute, something should be draggable here because yeah, I don't think this has not worked for a long time or something like that. I don't think this is broken. It's a bit. Oh, this window is pretty dead. It does register draggable, and it does call move too, which should be broken. This calls move draggable, which should crash here. Yeah. But that doesn't happen because I'm just getting no chance to drag that thing for some reason. That is weird though, because come on. Why not? It should be draggable. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Commit it out again. It's basically the only one so far. It is the only one so far. And then we have that one. Let's try that. So no slider and stuff is draggable, and that just works. Cool. The dragging point is well working, I think, pretty much. Which is the simplest. Guess it does not really matter. What is that thing doing here with a 2? There's a slider. Interesting. It doesn't crash. I can even drag stuff. Looks okay, except maybe that this point is not updated. I think it should be jump back to the circle. And this is not draggable. It doesn't crash though. Yep. Okay. I think one of the reasons is that I'm just not calling moved. Just not calling it anymore. It's defined in stuff, but it's not being called. I think this was called before by moved. It was called here. It was called from update draggable plot. Called by window when the user dragged a draggable to new position. Well, that works. So got something else going on right now. Maybe I should call this then from that, I don't know, new function or something. Update draggable. I think I have an update draggable CS now. Let's see if we can find when this is was called. Update draggable plot. Right there. Update grabs plot calls update draggable plot. Also called from the broken function. That's it. Okay, so the question now becomes who is calling update grabbed plot. That used to be done from update grabbed, and that is no longer doing it. Yeah, there was a difference between if I have a plot I could do that, but now instead of calling update grabbed plot, I always call draggable update. Well, here. So. Maybe this one then should do it. This one. Could call moved, but I think I want to call that with pixels, and we have pixels here, so I might as well do it here, right? Update everything, and then in the end here I'm call moved. Doesn't have to be done in this standard function. Does not need to be done at all. Okay, call moved on the draggable, which is we might not have the draggable here. Geometry, we just have a new geometry. The rest is hidden inside here. So it has to be done from there then. Which is filled by it is filled here with update pixels, which is just a standard function that's being passed to a arbitrary draggable implementation, which is called from here, being equal to this lambda, and here I have my coordinate mapper and draggable. I think this is the draggable here, right? Is that the only draggable? That would be a point again. Where's my plot point come from? The plot points here is just being passed here. At the moment it's being ratcheted. Yeah, but I only want to, yeah, okay, that's okay. That's okay. So we can call on that thing that it was moved. Update grep CS is being called, so you can do it in update. That also has this. And it has the pixels. We can do it in update grep CS then. I think it should do it here. Provided that we can get the draggable. I think this is the draggable. Moved. And I'm going to pause pixels. Position pixels. That should even compile, I think. Well, this is one of them, and that takes a mass CS point, CSID pixels, which is the same type. Okay, that should work. And the plot point CS is it's a plot CS point, which is, I hope, plot point plot. Yeah, it's derived from draggable. So we call moved with pixels. And also the thing that was missing. Oh, something broke. Void. No, void. Why am I saying void? Because I see void. Error. Yeah, well, void cairowindow plot CS put anonymous moved. Is private. Oh, is that all? Well, I think a problem is also that it is not could cause this to a draggable first, but that's ridiculous. See, it can't be any more public, it's just a struct. So yeah, BS. I'm just going to remove the private and private in this context. Where is it? Declared private, yeah, declared private. Declared private here, it's not private at all here. Move it. This is private here. Implementation, yeah, that's nonsense. Let's just put that there. Makey. What have I been trying to call here? To run? I forgot. Was it the shortest arc length with or without a 2? It was with a 2. That means that if now I drag something, then moved is called, which might be an instant crash. And it is instantly crashing. What about the slider though? No crash, but nothing still. What is this doing? Receive message input button press. Button 1 entering grab draggable, and then nothing. It just doesn't find it, anything below it maybe. Yeah. So is the slider even register? Did the slider even register itself then? As being a draggable something. So it must have a little square here, I think. That is clickable. So you can click anywhere, it doesn't matter. The slider might no longer register itself. Why wouldn't it? So we used to have a register draggable. That is now removed. That was called for the slider. There's a comment. Yep. Window register draggable slider. Ah, FIXME. Yeah, it's commented out, so it's totally not registered. Well, begin here then. Obviously, we do want this to be registered. I think this slider pointer get used to be a draggable pointer. And the register draggable then was accepting a draggable pointer. Does the function even exist still? It does. Coordinate mapper point. The coordinate mapper is the plot. Yeah, so this thing only accepts a plot point, yes. And the interesting would be if I could just pass a draggable pointer and then still have it work. Very unlikely. We can infer the CS though from the coordinate system, from the coordinate mapper. That isn't entirely lost if we pass the base class pointer here. But the point CS is being used in a comment. Yeah, this can't be helped then. No, okay. Actually, yeah, it's calling set index, which is a trackable function. How many of those here do I have? Because I'm pretty sure that's the one. The utils ultra hash. Yeah, sure. Tests state machine program. So yeah, this is draggable function, and we call a geometry, which is also draggable. Pretty sure. This is a window, which is not it. Coordinate system, too far down the line, also not it. Layer arcs. Plot, that was not it. Another plot. Got the draw stuff. Draw slider. But it's not a slider. Plot point. Oh. Don't have a geometry in draggable. Oh. Yeah, you need a draw object for it. The draw object is not stored in the draggable. Now, let me find one more thing that requires it to be an actual point. This is just grabbed, so it's being passed to, captured by the lambda. Update grab CS. Takes plot point CS, which we assign and position in CS coordinates. Yeah, it totally has to be coordinate system aware then. And we use it to get the draw object, and we use it to add points, which is of course never going to work with trackable, of course. Okay, so yeah, only points are working here. I guess I have to I can use a point. I can use a point for the slider handle. Do that. Draw point. Don't have to use this necessarily, hopefully, maybe. Or do I? So we're having this. Can I use this and then draw something else? No. Well, it has a draw object is a draw point. reach it as well. I hacked red. Hopefully that doesn't cause an ambiguity. Oh no, it cannot, because this is a pointer. I think it takes a reference, actually, these days. Check that. I can just jump here. Teacher draggable takes a pointer, damn it. Yes. Definitely, if it is a pointer, it's going to be ambiguous, isn't it? Or not? I'll just skip that for now. That causes ambiguity with the current draggable comma plot PS. Is this something? Which is derived from a draggable. And then make the new overload accept whatever this type is. Get slider pointer is what? It's a draw slider. A draw slider pointer. So I want you to fix this FIXME by adding an overloaded window register draggable that does accept the draggable pointer. It's not the end of the sentence. And then okay, which is not a template. Is not a template. No CS. But implements the same thing, assuming everything is in CSID pixels, coordinate system ID. It is in pixels because it is in pixels for a slider. And what problems do we have then? So this is just, you know, the CSID pixels then. And this is where it can make that up, and then this is pixels. And yeah, we can still do this, I suppose. Then we would still have it is a template. Because we need a type name L. Where did I say that? So which is a template without CSS, but still type name L. So we can still do this then, and then DCS can still be filled in. This is working. This only takes a geometry and a whatever lambda. So I think you can still use a register draggable implementation. That's something that converts pixels to geometry, so it can completely be used. Gets a new index, pushes back the update grab pixels lambda, and that's it. Clickable geometries. I have 2 pushbacks. Yeah, that's no. Let's see, trackable updates. Lambdas that convert a new position in pixels to the bounding box in pixels. So totally shareable, of course, for something that only works in pixels. So you definitely want to have the comment here at the end. Note that can be reused just fine as it is in pixels. So as it deals with pixels only anyway. And then here the last thing is well, this. Okay, lambda. Can't call update grabbed, yes. However, because yeah, that takes an new position in pixels. Yeah, well, whatever it deals with, it does not just take, it CS point all over the place. Was that only deals with points? You need to write a new update grabbed something. Is that even doable? Because update grabbed CS we get pixels and we keep pixels. This is basically pixels. Assign it, draw the thing, except that it is not an add point. Moved must be called on it. It's almost the same thing, except add point. see. The implementation thereof seems pretty straightforward. Except that update grep yes calls add point. Don't have an equivalence thing for that. We have to go back to where this is being called from. That is here. Where is the function that draws stuff? How did Dragwell do that before? Dragwell. Moved nothing. No draw thing. Plot slider draw object. And it's shared slider pointer is a plot slider draw object and a plot slider, which is already used here actually. Set a cast draw multi-region reference. Draw regions on. Oh, there's a draw slider. Obviously. Draw slider, yeah. That's doing the drawing. Yeah, the AI has to do something. Let's see what it makes of this. Except that calls add point. Well, now we want to use Okay, go. I have no idea how to do this. That last thing, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the AI makes something, you know, like, at least it will give me an idea, maybe, hopefully. Search, fix, and there goes your tokens. I gave it a bloody line number. It's still searching. Exactly how did that search look like? FIXME. Okay, let's highlight FIXME, because otherwise I have no clue. Did rip grab -n FIXME register draggable? Did I give it that FIXME? I should add dates to this. The last FIXMEs here were out of my scroll buffer. Oh, this is how reading looks like. They just dumped the whole bloody file. It limits it to 240 lines, I think. In case it's a really big file, but basically that's the whole file then. Yeah. I'm not paying for tokens anyway. I just have the 20 euros per, what is it, 23 I think, per month thingy. And I never run into limits, so as long as that is keeps being the case. Then I don't care if it is inefficient, because, well, nobody asks you to verify the includes. Does it not compile or something? Window gets a slider for declaration. Apparently it's very slider specific. Even though it's taking oh yeah, okay, so that apparently there was an ambiguity then. Now we have a slider pointer. In which case it's all very slider specific. So yeah, we have a restriction that is just for pixels now. You start at the top. Okay, so we only have an L. Takes a slider and a lambda. An L must either be the default standard null pointer, or it must be convertible to restrict function. Restrict function default constructed is an empty function, doesn't do anything. This is just a standard function. So if it is a null pointer, it's not a null pointer, sorry, then the L that was passed in is converted to the standard function. Lambda is converted to the standard function and then stored over this default constructed one. So of course, this is lambda is an unequal standard function, so this static cast actually constructed. Therefore, we have a temporary standard function. So if you then assign that, then the right-hand side is temporary, which is an R value. So this is going to call the move assignment operator. Very efficient. Probably just assigns a a pointer to this object here, which was null before. My music is gone again. And it's back again. Auto. Update grab pixels. Grab the slider pointer. Grab the standard function. Convert pixels to geometry. When that is called and the restriction is existing, then just call restriction. Why not? It's all pixels. Call slider moved. Interesting, interesting. Return slider geometry. Okay, where's my drawing? It doesn't draw anything. Oh, the drawing happens in moved, maybe. Oh, I had not looked at that. Okay, though I missed that one, and the AI saw it, assuming that it actually works. I think it might work. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, well, except then, of course, that it... I was gonna say that it won't be drawn until I move it, but it's probably also not the case. It was already drawn before this new function. Clickable index. Draggable implementation. Yeah, that's just a reuse of the existing thing. What is it? That's cool. And here we have now an instead of cairowindow point, it uses a pixels point. To that, yeah, very good. More changes. Include a draggable. Draggables are now needed because of this. That's extremely unlikely, because if this worked, sliders derived from draggable. Then draggable was already included. Well, I had it for declared. Well, if that works, then it should also work still with the forward declaration. I don't think this is correct. Update grid pixels. Is it not a thing that it was that it just wrote and now it's changing it again? So it can make it a draggable pointer instead of the slider pointer. Yeah, okay. It changed its mind, so you can use a draggable pointer. So the rest, nothing has changed. It just renamed slider to a draggable. Added a pixel space overload for a registered draggable pointer. So a non-plot CS point draggables like draw slider can be registered. FIXME in fix the FIXME and plot create slider by registering the underlying draw slider as draggable with an identity restriction that captures slider pointer to keep it alive. Verified by building backtrack check successfully. Well, looks all good so far, I would say. Let's rebuild this here as well. Actually, not here. Dit was my test. Which is already built, so might as well run it. My god, it works. Yeah. Very blinky. Oh, that doesn't look like it. It used to look more smooth. See all kinds of short glitchy stuff here. No, I don't know. And this so oh, that doesn't work now. False. But hey, the slider seems to be fixed ish. Okay, let's see where we crash. Well, let's run the other thing. Let's talk about backtrack check. Instant crash, but on the same point. Draggable can still not be called. Okay, let's I think these are still new. This is an old one. So should be able to do FIXME. So in 2024 I can ignore those. So there is 4 left, which are from today. Can't go to bed before these are fixed because I added them today. I think it's just a plot CS pointer. Does it have this? This does not have it. Jumped over it. Plot point. This is plot CS. Oh, nothing has it. This does not have it. Wait a minute. This does not have it. I think the way to get it is through Draggable. Draggle has a clickable index, and we have the draw object. The draw object has the window, and then together with the window, probably should be able to find the transform matrix. But I don't even have this object. You have the non-plot CS point, which doesn't have anything. It's just mathematics. Nonsense. Nonsense. This is plot CS. We are inside plot CS. Okay. So we do have the index here and the draw object. So something draw object. Draw object geometry. Layer window. Like this. So if move is called, yeah, well, call thing move is called by someone who checks it. So the object is the layer is the window. And you have the index underscore, yeah, that's from the base class. Right, because this point is derived from Draggable. So we have the index. And then I should be able to get the transform, I think, I hope. Let's see what this window will have. A window does have something with clickable indexes. Let's say there are clickable geometries, which is not interesting. Oh, you only have these functions which convert pixels to geometry, also not useful. Shocking. There's no access for it. It's all hidden in that in the lambda there. No. It's hidden in the draggable update. What? From register to draggable. My coordinate mapper is captured by that thing. And that thing is then stored after type erasure as a standard function. There is no way we can get that back. Don't do that, it makes noise. Yeah, I'm afraid I have to add another vector or something that stores it. I don't have an accessor for that. Oh, I have, yeah. Is it even necessary that move? Well, the only thing that is going to do is assign the new coordinates. But that might already have been done because it works already. I don't think this whole thing is needed. Might as well do nothing. Let's see where moved is called for a point. Someone is calling moved. For a point. So this we need because that's for the arbitrary draggable, but gee, it's already assigned by the time this is called. Slightly annoying, however, that it is being called with new position pixels. God, then we only have pixels. But yeah, it's a point. Might as well not call this. Remove it. Or I don't know, just nonsense. So I want to get rid of that, which means that what in the actual... Oh, do I still have something nice to eat? I think I do actually. No, impossible. Really? Back to my movie then. Yeah, I probably have something in the fridge still. Some 0% fat protein quark with a nice taste. I buy that when I go to fitness, which is twice a week, and sometimes also other days because it's just so good. Make. Okay, that was done, and my test was this one. It doesn't crash anymore when I drag this. Ta-da. You did it again. And this is still not updated though. But I might actually, oh, in here. Might have been broken even before these changes. And now this slider. Slider is moving. It doesn't seem to be doing anything though. It is slightly annoying. Maybe it's just this this thing, or it's doing. It should be doing something as you actually see a curve being drawn. This curve here is minimized by all the free variables to get something in between, well, to get a minimum energy. Do we have energy? The stretching energy and the bending energy. So if it makes a curve like this, it's stretched. Okay, I mean, not stretched would be a straight line. But if you just draw two straight lines, then you have an infinite bending here. So that would be an infinite energy. So it tries to avoid being bent too much, and it tries well, balance that with the length. But if I change the bending weight, then the bending becomes less and less important. So it should make it shorter. Nothing, right? There's absolutely no change whatsoever. Damn it. Possible. Fortunately, I see something change here. So the slider works. It's just the slider should work. Let's try another one that is a sliders. Circle jerk. I don't know if that has it does have a slider. I saw it before it crashed. Oh, that one, yeah, it just doesn't work. Period. We need another test. The backtrack check. Unfortunately, yeah, that immediately calls this move draggable, which is still broken like hell. I think that's the last one though. It's not really a FIXME because it's commented out. Yeah, there's a last function. Surely there is another one that has a slider that just works. Just have to find it. Does not even have a slider. Yay. Actually, I see the slider have effect. And that crashes. Okay, the last one. Move draggable. When is that called? Man, God, it's only called from here. Move to. Okay, every program that uses move to is broken. How do I find quickly all programs? Grab -L that has a create slider in it. But not move to. I thought this one crashed. It does have moved. Yeah, and then they must have sliders. Why is such thing not having a slider? That was commented out. It's exactly that one, of course. And this one never worked. There's a new one. We have a slider, and slider's not doing anything. Beta. Q. Oh, here it was something. Slider's again absolutely not doing anything. Well, no, nothing. What is it even supposed to do? What is beta? Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, it does mean this is being changed. So you see the value of the slider really changes. But then nothing changes here. Not. So annoying. Bezier, gradient descent. That doesn't have a slider again. Ridiculous. Quadratic Bezier. Also no slider. The heck, nothing can be tracked even. And yeah, we tested that one already, and also no effect. Suspicious. I'll have to look into this, I'm afraid. So this slider, bending weight slider. Shortest arc length, LS tests, VI tests, shortest arc length 2. And I forgot. Bending weight, okay. Slider beta label. So this is the slider beta. Value. Slider beta value. That is only here. Bending weight. Is it inside a loop or not? It looks like it's totally inside a loop. So this should change. Dat voor die we goed. 10,000. Till, I guess, 0.0001, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah, the slider works. So I would even further look into this. It seems totally unrelated. Something used. It's not used. Great. Well, it's used here. What, am I looking at the wrong thing or what? I don't know, slash bending weight. It's being used. It's being assigned to bending weight underscore. And then again, it's being used here. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Let's not be bothered by it at the moment. Let's tests. Yeah, I think I should just go to bed. Or actually watch a movie and eat my quark. But yeah, let's do that. I'll fix the last function tomorrow. Called from here. Yeah, just move to. Hey, Mr. J. Nelson. You mean this? Or do you mean... no, there's no other transform inside at the moment. Yeah, it's a sub-project of my internet chessboard thing. How they're related, I really can't remember that anymore. But it's, I'm going to quit anyway, so I might as well stop here and then explain that. Yeah, so this is a project. There's a .kit and everything. It's just the base of my current project. With on GitHub called transform.kit. And that started with stuff in source related to coordinate transformations. And then I finished that and I moved it to cairowindow and then I moved it to math. I think now it's in math. So now we have in math coordinate transformation stuff, but still for the rest just mathematics. And in cairowindow I leverage that to also actually draw it. And if it works, I can't guarantee that, but then I can show you that this is the best one, I think, for the drawing stuff then. Incredibly slow to start off. So it is drawing here a coordinate system, literally, like here. It has two axes which are perpendicular. I'm not doing any shearing, S-H-E-A-R. With, you know, I also don't do uniform or non-uniform scaling actually. So the distances here from the origin to a half is the same as this distance. But you can translate it and you can rotate it. And what else do we have? Translate, rotate, yeah, and uniform scaling, of course. So that you see that the half here is actually exactly the same distance because well, whatever. But I can draw it, as you can see, and yeah, the support is that it is very easy to make something like this. You almost spell it out in English, like how the circle is created by saying, okay, you have this rectangle, get the middle of it, draw a line parallel to the x-axis. So you have now a line here. And then draw a line that is diagonal through a corner, and then get the intersection point. That's then the center of my circle. And then affine transforms, yeah, without shearing. Exactly. So for the maybe I should show you just the code of this, that you can understand why this is could be fun. So I have to go to cairowindow. No, to the code, damn it. Source. Coordinates. So this looks like this. So about the circle, that could be done faster, but I was just having fun here. So I have a rectangle in painter coordinates, which is the origin of the painter coordinate system plus a half times the object size in painter coordinates. Object size here is a size, and that's just the rectangle that you saw. So it's basically a rectangle, but then, you know, you have a rectangle, you have geometry, you have size, different types of the same thing, but I do different things. So in this case, I can just multiply that with a half, so you get half of it, and then add it to the origin, and you get the center of the rectangle. And then we construct the line, a line in painter coordinates called middle line from the center and a direction that is just to the right, aka something parallel to the x-axis, going through the center. So now you have the line through the middle of the rectangle, and then we create another line that goes through the origin of the painter. So that's one corner of the rectangle, plus the full size. So that's the opposite corner, with a direction that is has a 45 degree. So that gives you then well, another line, and then you get the intersection. The circle center is the intersection between those two lines, and then I create I get the radius by calculating a vector from the origin of the painter stuff plus the size minus the circle center. And then we take the norm of that, because that was just a vector now. And then we have the length, which is now the radius. And then we create a circle with the circle center and the radius. And then I add to the painter coordinate system, so that is that rotating thing. I just add a circle in the painter coordinate system, giving it that circle, which is in painter coordinate system. But if then you rotate that, you apply transformations on the coordinate system, then the circle stays fixed relative to those red axes. It's just, well, it's fixed relative to the painter coordinate system. This draws the label below it, circle label. And then if you hit space, then you go to the top. And then the angle changes. The angle which is being used for the transform. So we recalculate the painter transform. So I have a centered coordinate system. That was the green coordinate system. And then you calculate the painter transform relative to that. So I just create a default constructed transform of the centered coordinate system. And then we translate it. Both. I translated minus a half times the size, translation size, and then I rotated it by angle. In that order. Or actually the other order, or I don't know. I think it's first translated and then rotated. Because if I rotate it, it stays at the same point, right? So it just rotates around its own origin. So okay, you're right. So you define your coordinate systems and then can define geometry in each system. Yes. With drawing. But if you just look at math. So these are mathematical objects only. There's nothing to do with drawing. And you have, apart from cubic polynomials, I put a lot of time into that, but there's nothing to do with this. Also, multi-dimensional stuff is supported. Also, multi-dimensional stuff. But you have, say, a line, a point, a matrix, a line piece, and now the transform. A translation vector that you can use specifically to translate the transform. And a vector. And then here we have a lot of the same objects, but these are templates, so they're templated with the coordinate system. So you can define your own coordinate systems, and then you can have a directional line, a line piece, a matrix, a pointer, size, and a vector tagged with your coordinate system. And then doing calculations between them, like calculating the intersection between two lines. This is a direction vector. For example, you have a point and a direction, then that gives you a line. And if you subtract 2 points, you get a vector. If you add a vector to a point, you get another point, and so on. Well, okay. I don't know if you're still here even, but I'm gonna quit and watch a movie. Okay. I hated to have give a long explanation, and people leave without saying anything. So just say, yeah, I'm still here, and then I can stop the stream. Please. Or we'll never explain anything again to anyone. He left, damn it. Oh, he's still there. Whew. Okay, that was close. Well, maybe I'll see you back, or I don't know. I'm gonna watch a movie. Thank you for your interest. Yeah. Good night.